Oh, man. It's Friday. Glad to have you with us on CBSN Minnesota's Morning Update. I'm Jason DeRusha. Hope you're having a great day. You're ready for a great weekend. Gerald and I were just talking about a little, Gerald's wife is pregnant, so he is on the receiving end of everyone's brilliant advice. So if you're Gerald's parents or in-laws, stop it. Just stop it. You don't know what you're talking about. None of us do. Anybody who's raised kids, you look at it, you're like, I don't know, man. Like, you can read all the books, you can hear all the advice from mom, and when it comes down to it, it's like you just got to be a good person and do your best. That's all. That's my advice. Good luck. Like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Somehow I'm training a kid how to drive now. I don't know how that happened. So that is scarier than raising kids, I'll tell you that. Sitting in the passenger seat of the car while your 15-year-old is like just changing lanes. You're like, no! I wish I had one of those, like my own brake, you know? Like when we learned how to drive, do they still do that? I don't know. Anyway, it is Friday. We're feeling it around here. We hope you are too. The weather is playing a part in it for sure. Be a little cloudier today than it was yesterday, but high of 47. Nobody's complaining about that. All weekend is just going to be money. Tomorrow it'll be close to 50 again. Sunday will be close to 60. Be a little breezier, but come on. This is pretty great for Minnesota March, right? Let's talk about this. Today is National Unplugging Day. And you know that I love a national day, right? Like, I love to celebrate a national day. Maybe it's National Donut Day. We're celebrating National Suns Day. That was yesterday, I think. I'm all for a national day. Pizza Day. We had was that this week, National Margarita Day? Might have been last week. Really, every day could be National Margarita Day if you believe enough. But National Unplugging Day rubs me the wrong way. You know, sure, like, obviously with the pandemic, we're all spending more time in front of screens. We have to, right? Zoom and this and that. But the truth is, like, we love being on screens. We love following TikTok. We love watching the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update on Facebook. Like, I'm not going to come on here and tell you to unplug. And doctors say, like, well, you know, if you could do 1 hour off the screen, that would be good. Well, if you're not spending 1 hour off the screen every day, you have a bigger problem that National Day of Unplugging cannot fix. But we're asking this, and first of all, I just want to say, like, live your life. Don't let the National Day people tell you what to do. But if you chose to unplug, because maybe that is what you want to do today, how long could you do it? Could you go an hour? Sure. I could do an hour. Could I do 6 hours without checking my phone? Sure. Could I do 12? Now you're pushing your luck. Could I do a full weekend? Should I go all weekend without being on social media? Why? Why would I do that? It's dumb. So let me know, National Day of Unplugging. I ask you this on a newscast that we are streaming digitally and you're watching on a device. So you don't want me to say that unplugging's a good idea. Stupid. All right, thousands of Minnesotans today are going to get the first Johnson & Johnson vaccine in the state. And answer me this, are people going to be more excited about getting their vaccine, or will it be that they're on the 30-yard line of the Vikings practice facility? This is what I want reporters to ask today when they're covering this story. What is more exciting to you? I'm going to say 70% will be more excited to get the vaccine because it's been a long year. But there's still going to be a strong 20 to 30% of people that are more excited about being in the Vikings facility. The vaccine is Johnson & Johnson's. 13,000 or so eligible Minnesotans will be getting that. And they'll be doing, by appointment only, vaccinations through Tuesday. If there are any left over, like, give me a call. I'm interested. U.S. Senate expected to spend several late nights debating this relief bill. And let's take a moment. It just feels so bad for those senators who have to work a long weekend. Oh, you guys. Thoughts and prayers to you. Overnight, lawmakers started debating, but Republicans said, hey, we got an idea. You know, it would be great in this debate that we are not going to win because we don't have the votes. What if we made them read the whole bill out loud? So Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson forced the clerk to read the entire 628-page bill out loud on the floor took nearly 11 hours. Joe Isuzu was apparently unavailable to read the bill. That's a very old reference, a very niche joke there. But the debate will start this weekend on amendments and all of that. We are learning a little bit about how much the city of Minneapolis is spending on all these concrete barriers, the fences, the barbed wire. If you've been in downtown Minneapolis, which many people have not, but if you have, you will see this everywhere in the government plaza. It surrounds the Hennepin County building, which is where the trial will take place. It surrounds City Hall, which is where the mayor and the police department are headquartered. But there's also fencing all around the different precinct police stations. And the city spent more than $600,000. They had to rent this stuff. They had to pay somebody to put it up, all of this. Local leaders say that the barriers are there to protect the trial, of course. And they say it's also to protect protesters. I guess I don't really see how that's true. It's not protecting the protesters, but the jury selection is scheduled to start on Monday. No question that security will protect the protesters, and I don't see how the barbed wire protects anyone, but there you go. A new survey out this morning, very interesting. It does show nationally now some shifting views about the facts of what happened the day George Floyd died. Last June, 60% in a USA Today Ipsos poll described George Floyd's death as murder. Now people are saying, well, we may need to really hear the full evidence. Look at where the percentage is now. It's at 36%, and that poll was asked on Monday and Tuesday of this week. So people less sure that it was murder. Maybe it's manslaughter, they're saying. Maybe it was some form of murder, but to them, it's not as obvious as it was when the tape first rolled. That said, when you ask, do you hope Derek Chauvin is convicted, 60% of Americans say yes. 76% of black Americans say they hope he's convicted. So just the only reason we share this is it does give some insight as to what perhaps the mindset of a potential jury might be. So it does show at least maybe more of an open-mindedness than you would have thought based on where people were months ago. Pope Francis is in Baghdad this morning. Not that I'm saying one way is right or the other. I don't know. We'll have a trial to determine that, right? So Pope Francis in Baghdad. And this is amazing. A pope has never gone to Iraq before. Heightened security, of course, in Baghdad. They've put Baghdad under a curfew that's expected to last 4 days. And the Pope hasn't left Italy since November of 2019 because of COVID. So very interesting that the first trip would be to Iraq and, of course, Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization and of Christianity historically. So very, very interesting trip there. After a year of silence, the music is set to return to the Medina Entertainment Center. Medina Ballroom is what we all call it, right? It's been around for 65 years. A great family owns it. They've remodeled it over this year. You know, the Medina Entertainment Center has a bowling alley. It's got a busy restaurant and an event center with live entertainment. And talk about a triple whammy during the pandemic, right? None of those things really going well. They used to have 2,300 people in there for concerts, now just 250 allowed. They will have full tableside service for food and drinks. You kind of line up, concession stand style. So it's all changing, but they're bringing the entertainment back in April. So that'll be good. COVID-19 is keeping a Twin superfan from spring training games in Florida this year. Kind of a bummer. She can't travel for that. She's 90. But you know she's still supporting her team.
But I was a fan through thick and thin. When people grumbled and grumbled and grumbled about him, I just stuck up for him.
There you go. There you go, Carol Wagner. Sick and tired of people impugning the integrity of your team. She's from Stearns County. They call her the baseball lady. Clever nickname. Come on, Stearns County, step it up. She's been a fan. Look, the Twins moved to Minnesota in the early 60s, so she's a lifer. And she's got the gear to show it for sure. She was in Fort Myers last year, ready to go to her third game of the season, and then they shut her down. This year she's got a bit of a conundrum right now. She's a Dish Network subscriber and survivor. And apparently they're in a dispute with Fox Sports North. So how's she going to watch her games? Rough go in Stearns County. Lifelong fan, gotta love that. Want the weirdest kind of collaboration that we could find today? Two businesses that teamed up to get publicity and make us go, huh? Here's Chipotle. So you got your burrito right there. And here's a makeup palette. Is this ELF? I think it's ELF. So in our stories today, it says ELF Cosmetics. And we've been saying ELF. But I suspect the cosmetics company, is it pronounced ELF? What? I don't think so. It's E.L.F. I think it's ELF. I think it's funnier if you say Chipotle and ELF Cosmetics have teamed up. But here's, I mean, this is so silly, isn't it? Hey, it's salsa lip gloss and extra guac. These are sponges. So you can, Newspath, the CBS Newspath says ELF. Well, you're going to trust those guys? Well, if CBS Newspath are fine network journalists who help us on the local level. I've actually bought ELF Cosmetics before, or ELF, for like a little powder. And I mean, I know you guys are shocked that I wear a little makeup. Not much. I mean, when you naturally have this, I don't need your Chipotle palette, okay? This is from, all right, just enough. Play the music and let's do the thing. Where's the hits? We're not going to play the hits? Come on, Ron. Hit the, there it is. Yeah. You know, this thing went much better in rehearsal today. Here's Nikisha. You're going to unplug? Nikisha's like, no unplugging for me. Yes, she's a small business owner. Her business runs by her phone. Good for you, Nikisha. Get in the comments and tell us what your business is. Give yourself a little plug in there. Here's Molly, telework. Yeah, how are you supposed to do it? But if you go outside, she won't think about her phone twice. Yeah, I think a lot of us are going to feel that way this weekend, right? Julie Harrington unplugged yesterday. She accidentally left her phone in the car at work. Man, have you guys had those moments where you're like, I left my car at home, or left my phone at home? Do I turn around and get it, or do I power through? I always power through. It's like a challenge. Mostly I do it because my wife is like, oh, I better. No, I'm fine. And then, of course, I have the shakes all day. Danielle, I could for a couple days. We all should unplug for a while during each week. I agree, Danielle. You do need to clear your mind and be present. Becca says, I think I could go 24 hours, but I got to go somewhere. Yeah. Boy, isn't that funny how we have filled the blank space in our life with time on your phone? I do think about that sometimes. We used to just think a little more. We'd read or just sit there. Brian and Mary Jo, if I unplugged, I wouldn't be able to watch this. Yeah. And boy, let me tell you, Brian and or Mary Jo, what a tragedy that would be, right? Can you believe this thing is free? That we give this to you for free on the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update? I can't believe it. Hope you enjoyed our Friday program. We're your only local streaming news source because everybody else in town has watched this and said, we're good. Thanks for visiting.